Thanks for checking out the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to see your deck featured on the channel, hang out with me and the amazing BoshNRoll community on Discord, access to my lists and sideboard guides before tournaments, or book an individual coaching session, check out the Patreon and YouTube member links in the video description. Use the code BoshNRoll to get 10% off the best Magic apparel on the market at coalesceapparel.shop. If you want to play what I'm playing, use my affiliate link to order cards from tcgplayer.com, or play any deck, anytime, with a Magic Online loan account from cardhoarder.com. Thanks again for being here. Now let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel for another Legacy video, and today we are paying our dues here in the Legacy queues. This is, at the request of Patreon subscriber Jeremy, Izzet Delver. Nothing fancy here. This is the bread and butter best deck in the format. We're at the point where Twitter discourse recently has been about how many Pyroblasts in the main deck indicate an unhealthy format. Here we got 2. I'm not sure if this number is going to be great in leagues. This was Bob Wong's challenge list that he used to make top 8 of the Sunday challenge the weekend before I recorded this. You're not going to see it until the next week, but this is a fresh one. I chose this one over the Bullwinkle anti-dichotomy Izzet list because I wanted to showcase actual Delver, though I think both lists are good. This is really just the best thing to be doing in Legacy if you want to win your matches. You can try to metagame against Delver, you can try to metagame against the decks that are good against Delver. Green-White Depths is a good choice. I unironically think Smallpox is a powerful card to be casting right now, just position-wise. The Epic Storm absolutely obliterates Delver in the hands of a competent pilot. Like, there's stuff you can do, but if you're just, like, not a dedicated Legacy player, or you're in the Legacy seat for a team event and you just want to put up the highest average number of wins or whatever, this is how you're going to do it. Delver of Secrets, Dragon's Rage Channeler, showing up on turn 1, starting the pressure. Murktide Regent closing the door at the top end with the absolutely busted Expressive iteration, keeping your cards flowing throughout. I wish I had more to say about this deck, but this really is not in need of an introduction at this point. Delver's been the best thing to be doing in Legacy since the card was printed in, what was it, 2010, 2011, or maybe 2012, in the early 2010s, and nothing has changed. This might be one of the stronger versions of it. You don't need a third color. We never had Expressive iteration, Murktide Regent, or Dragon's Rage Channeler before this current era of Delver. And I don't hate Delver. I just want to be perfectly clear. On my channel, when I queue into it, I'm like, oh, we got to try hard. I make the jokes, but I like Delver. I like the play patterns. I like what the deck's about. I like winning my matches in competitive settings. Sue me for that. And I've played Izzet Delver in 3 major tournaments lately, and I top-8'd all 3 of them. Didn't win any of them, notably. That once you get to the top 8, it gets to be kind of a hostile metagame, but I am proficient with this strategy, and let's just jump into this. We're off to a good start in round 1. We won the die roll, and we can choose between our favorite 1-drop to cast. I believe I'm going to lead on Delver, because Delver is the one that you want in play for longer. Like, it actually takes a full turn cycle for Delver to start getting active. DRC, you can cast on turn 2, immediately get value out of it. And it happens that it's a 3-3 on turn 2, but we don't need to play to that. Opponent's a fan of the channel. Let's see if it's still true after they see what I got for them here. You watch my channel, you have all this fun, you into me, and I'm just on Izzet Delver. Maybe they're on Pox. That would be justice. Uh-oh. Bloodstained Mire is a bad card to see for my hand with no interaction in it. This could be a Grixis deck, Grixis control, but it's for sure not. Okay. It is Reanimator, and we're looking pretty dead here. They pitched a Grizzlebrand. Oh, that's a weird-looking Grizzlebrand. I think that's a Secret Lair. Yeah, they did like a demon Secret Lair. Ugh. Okay. Not feeling good about the situation. Let's see if we get a turn. If I can untap and do stuff with this Brainstorm, life gets better, but not feeling good. Oh, they had the Dark Ritual too. We're just dead. The only thing I could hope for is that
mana was restrictive of what they're capable of. Right, there is one Brazen Borrower in my deck. They get Reckless with Grizzlebrand. Maybe there's something I can do here. They unmask me again, I'm probably just dead. Alright, they went all the way to 5. So if they don't have Unmask and I top deck a second Bolt, I can win. It looks like we're just going to clean up. We're moving through phases here. Okay, time to top deck Bolt and win the game. Flip Delver, revealing Bolt. Let's go. I recorded a league with Reanimator where I had a turn 1 Grizzlebrand against Delver and just like LOL drew cards twice and then died. Force of Will on top. Okay, how do I recover from this? Force is on top now. I can block Grizzlebrand and bolt my Delver, which, yeah, that does give me another attack. And then I get the Lightning Bolt Surveil. I'm a long way off of Mystic Sanctuarying my Bolt back. And now they've untapped. Probably going to shred my hand again. Thought sees me, they die. That's good news. Here comes the Grizzle. A fetch. Volcanic Island. Block. Let's see. Oh, wait. Yeah, they would go to... This is Animate Dead, so they would go to 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I can't let them gain life again. Alright, there's my block. My Lightning Bolt, my Delver. Get a Surveil out of this. If I can get Delirium and find a Lightning Bolt. Oh. Instant. Yeah, that's enough. The creature's about to die. Instant creature, land, sorcery. Yeah. Alright, I'll put that right on top. Alright, Force of Will back up here. Let's see how this goes. They've seen the Force of Will. They know it's here. Can't reanimate again. Do I just force this? Good chance that's the play. There are... This is either bait or it is the target. Alright, I'm just going to force it. Okay. One of us is dead. I've made my choice. Add lands? Oh, another ritual. Okay. Storm is 3. Ah, boo. Boo. Tricked me. Alright. That was pretty close. You could say that I fucked up on that Force of Will, and maybe I did, but 7 cards in hand. Maybe they only had the one Animate Dead there. Maybe they had a Duress that they didn't need. I don't know. Hard to say. But that Dark Ritual would have unlocked so many more options from the one land they were showing me. It's just one of those calls that sometimes you're wrong about. Unlicensed Hearse, Surgical Extraction, Force of Negation all come in. I could see arguments for Narset, and that makes Grizzlebrand really bad. But also seen Archon. A Narset's good even if they don't have Grizzlebrand because it's card advantage. I like that better than a card like Sudden Edict or something where it's like I don't really want to plan for a game where they have Grizzlebrand, but Narset is good when they don't have it and good if they have it. Chain Lightning, Pyroblast can come out. I want Daze, I want Force, obviously. I want my threats, I want my answers to their things. Lightning Bolt was the best card in my deck that game, but that doesn't mean my strategy is going to be the same post-sideboard. I think Bauble is better than Bolt to make sure I have Delirium and fast Murktides. Do I need Delirium? Is Delirium a liability? And Wasteland is hit or miss in this matchup as well. I could get more spells in and cut Wasteland. I think on the play, I want this Mishra's Bauble in over the Bolt. I'm going to do it like this. On the draw, maybe Bauble's a little slow, but at least it sees the fresh card before they get to move this way. Okay, I have Hearse, but basically nothing else. Reanimator tends to slow down after board. Like if they have a unmasked turn 1 hand, they're going to beat me even if I mull to 5 looking for Force of Will. I'm just going to keep this Brazen Borrower, which could answer a resolved threat, and then Hearse is ready if they take a turn off to play around. Like normally if they take a turn off, it's to Thoughtseize me, but that puts them behind to my threat. There's no ley line, like an absolute hammer that I can be mulling for here. It's just like free interaction. I'm going to give myself a chance to play to that. And keeping 7 on the play in this matchup is something they have to respect. So either they have the nuts and I'm not beating it anyway, or they're going to have to slow down, and I'd rather have 7 cards than 5 if we're going to go back and forth for a little bit. DRC's in there. Like, if they do have discard as their interaction, then there are arguments to wait. Like, wait until you have more mana, you can discard and then deploy all at once. If their hand is fueled by Dark Ritual, just ramming it into Daze here is something they might want to wait a turn and play around. And they're passing priority, and we are in my turn. With 2 mana, a Hearse, and now a Force Will to back it up. This is what we play to. Good shit. Just gonna get the car in, get my Surveil. Brainstorm's pretty good, but so's Murktide Regent. Gonna put that in the graveyard and attack for 1. Yeah, so now I have the most potent hate piece in my deck, backed up by free counter magic. And if they go for something or cast a discard spell here, I have the Force of Will, so they don't even get the information that I kept a hand without free interaction for game 3. Like, if they had duressed me last turn and just saw, like, oh, he's willing to keep these, that's information for game 3. But now they don't have that. Now we're just passing priority here. Cool. I like brainstorms. I can save this brainstorm, or I can just blast out for a delirium attempt here. I think I'm gonna go swing for the fences. Oh, that's a good card. The fences, the poor fences. All right, top. I guess I'm gonna keep double force if I can. The wasteland, that doesn't really help. I can hide, or I can put wasteland on top. If I force a will, I can mill that away. I think I want to put Force of Negation and wasteland on top in that order. Yeah, so now if I force something this turn, I can mill the wasteland that I don't want. And I can't triple force this turn anyway, so I'm not hiding anything by tucking that force on top. And if I just end up having to draw through these because they don't cast anything, I can hard cast the Force of Negation 2 turns out. And I can hard cast Brazen Borrower to just get on board if they just continue doing nothing. So it's grief time. Exiling Grizzlebrand. I'll let them look. Just seeing 2 forces here hopefully will. I mean, now they have information and they can plan the turn, but I don't want a 2-for-1 myself. I'm in a position of power where I can give up the information of I have a second force in exchange for actually having a 3rd card in my hand. Because pitching force is not free. All of these cards matter, especially when I know I'm drawing another force next turn. Every blue card in my hand matters. So the way they could get me here is if they, like, reanimate the grief, and then I exile it, and then they go, like, Thoughtseize, land, Dark Ritual, and Tomb reanimate again. That would be pretty good. But even then, I still have Brazen Borrower. Lotus Petal, alright. Something's happening. It's casting a grief. What's going on over there? Like, Meltdown for 2? Meltdown, even a card they would play in their Lotus Petal deck. I don't think that's what's going on here. Could Magus of the Moon me. That is a card they play sometimes. 3 cards left in hand. There we are, just hard casting grief. Right, so if this resolves, they strip the other force. Oh, then I don't get to draw force because I haven't cast a spell. Alright, I'm gonna force pitching. I think I pitched the Murktide Regent. Put Wasteland in the graveyard. Then I want to keep the force on top. Sucks that it slows down Delirium again. Not hitting very hard here, but they're down to 2 cards in hand, and I have the car still in play, plus another force in my hand. We're running out of stuff to do. I don't really need to beat them, I just need to not lose for a little longer. Spending 2 Lotus Petals to hardcast Grief, though, after they already pitch cast Grief, just... it shows me a lot of weakness. Like, they don't really have a good plan. And I'm happy to punish that. Cool. Just gonna keep poking in here. Just looting. That's a pretty good Force of Negation target. Also fuels the hearse. I think it's okay. I'm gonna let it happen. Faithless Looting is card negative. Like they're already, like you increase your card quality, but you go down a card because you have to spend the Faithless Looting, which is an actual card, and then you draw 2, discard 2. It's like tapping Bazaar Baghdad on the front half. Tomb and Reanimate both just hit the graveyard. Time for Serenity. Serenity now. Alright, they don't have the Serenity, and I had the Daze even if they did. I'm gonna get rid of Entomb and Faithless Looting. A Wasteland. Playing this gives me Brazen Borrower in attack mode or Hardcast Force. Wasting them makes this Daze better. Turning off red is also like a thing. Okay, I actually am gonna waste them. Their sideboard cards are white, but I can counter their sideboard cards right now. I easily entertain the argument though of leave up Hardcast Force, and if they don't do anything, Hardcast Brazen Borrower and just push. I would accept that argument. It is not what I did here though. Okay, now I get to do that anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards. Not lethal yet, so I'm not gonna suit up and attack. One more turn of poking here, and then Unlicensed Hearse is a lethal attack on its own. Get it done. Guess I could have cast Brazen Borrower and then attacked for lethal last turn. But no need to get risky there. We were winning that game anyway. The Mishra's Bauble would have turned on the Dragon's Rage Channelers at any point there. The information is helpful. Is it better than Hydroblast, which it's Faithless Looting, but not much else if they have a red sideboard card? But I think they play Serenity, especially now that we've seen the white. I don't really expect red sideboard cards out of them. Not really a Pyroblast deck, that's not how they go. Seeing the white means they're not green, so I'm not going to get a cheeky Submerge ever. Nullrod's too slow to turn off Lotus Petals most of the time. And I'm not even convinced that's like important or good. Even if I had like Leyline of Nullrod, I still think my Hearse is better than their Lotus Petals. I'm going to turn the Bauble into a Hydroblast. Hydroblast is at least a blue card to support my many forces, and it might hit a Faithless Looting. Be good. Alright, let's do it. Alright, we got Surgical Extraction. Keep it. Opponent mull to 6. Down to 5. Every card they mulligan either removes protection or speed. Like they can have a turn 2 or 3 hand with protection, or they could have Chancellor of the Annex and just kill me. Alright, time to survive this one. 4 cards left in their hand. We know one of them's Chancellor, so they have to have 3 cards that create put a creature in the graveyard and then put it into play before I make my first land drop. There's the looting. They did not discard the Chancellor. Interesting. That means they can't beat Surgical, so they're not going to try. Going to set up for something else later down the road. Interesting. I would love to wasteland them here, but I think I have to leave up this Surgical. And I don't get both because of Chancellor. Petal. Okay. You still know a Chancellor's in the hand. Thoughtseize. Okay. I'm going to at least pop the Chancellor bubble and then show them my handful of gas. I'm going to extract Faithless Looting. I will pay the Troll Toll. What you got over there? Wear Tear and Chancellor. What's in this deck? We've got Wear Tear, 2 Archons, 4 Grizzlebrands, 3 Griefs. There were 2 Chancellors in this deck. Great. Okay. It seems fine, though. Their hand's not really going anywhere. All right, Wear Tear and Chancellor over there. Just got rid of the Enabler. Okay. Pop the bubble. They get to Thoughtseize me, see the Wasteland, and the threat. No additional interaction, but I don't really need it right now. This is what I was talking about by the sideboard games reanimator has to respect that you have something. Like they mulled to 5 and chose a hand that didn't even really produce a monster. It just had counter hate in it in Wear Tear, Unmask, and maybe Thoughtseize, depending on if it came off the looting or not. It's just like I could have mulled to 5 to make sure I have Surgical with Force backup, but who cares? Not me. Slam this Wasteland. Start shutting it down over there. And I think I want Delver in play. PRC gets you the card selection, but I'd rather do that the turn after this with Expressive Iteration help. Their only mana source is Lotus Petal, so even if they run a runner into Reanimate, it's not good enough to find a land in between. Speaking of lands in between. Okay, just playing out my creature and attacking. My hand's basically face up right now. They know I didn't draw a spell or Delver would have flipped. Faithless Looting's probably their best rip, because that could find the land for them and puts a creature in the graveyard. Flip Delver, revealing Daze. Don't mind if I do. And then I'm going to EI with the full value off DRC. Land drop still available in that land. I'm going to put Daze in my hand. Murktide on the bottom. Exile Steam Vents. And I'll play Steam Vents untapped. I don't think the 2 life points are going to be the difference in this game, and that make them think about more things. Now Flusterstorm's live, Lightning Bolt's live. If you reanimate Grizzlebrand, you could just die. Reanimating Chancellor also, you just die. Bolt. But I don't think this Lotus Petal for mana situations is going to get through my double days. Found a swamp. Trouble now. Another DRC. Attack first. Get my damage in. Should have 4. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'm going to Murktide Regent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It comes in as a 4/4, and then Mystic Sanctuary picks up the iteration, making Murktide a 5/5, and they have to get through double days. And Murktide's just going to be bigger than Chancellor in short order. Okay, yeah. They see the writing on the wall. Picked them apart, Delver style. On to the next one.
For the absolute best Magic the Gathering apparel on the market, check out the link in the video description to coalesceapparel.shop, and be sure to use the code BoshNRoll for 10% off when you check out.
I'm on the play for round 2. You can't keep a no-lander. I'm going to ship it. At least not under normal circumstances. I won a Star City Classic with Grixis Delver, keeping a no-lander in Game 3 of the finals. It was against Belcher. There are no-landers that are defensible in extreme situations. Alright, I'm keeping this one. I'm going to send Chain Lightning to the bottom. I think that is the least important and most replaceable of the cards in my hand, especially with the 2 Brainstorms that can help replace them. Opponent also mulled to 6. I appreciate it. It's Delver time. Old Delver days on the play. Did you go? Sure. I'm not going to use Brainstorm to aggressively flip Delver. That's just not a good use of Brainstorm most of the time. I'd rather have my cards be good. That's a good Wasteland. Alright, Steam Vents and Brainstorm to the top of the deck. I'm going to zap them with this Wasteland. I don't know, if you lead on Beseiju, I'm gonna... That's telling me something. Music to my ears. They're either running out lower priority lands first. Okay. We're against a Rashadan board strategy that does not currently have a green source in play. Flip Delver, revealing Brainstorm. Back with Delver number 1. Maybe I shouldn't have played this land. Maybe I'm supposed to Brainstorm, actually. I know my top card is Steam Vents. Yeah, maybe I could have found a fetch land and smoothed this out. I might Brainstorm now, knowing that my top card is not going to flip Delver, and suspecting that I probably want to put damage on this opponent before they stabilize, before they figure all this out. Okay. I'm going to want Steam Vents. I want Mishra's Bauble. Is that a priority? Probably not. Oh, I can shuffle away Steam Vents, but if they're the Rashadan board strategy, nah. Alright. But I do have Daze also, but if they're not going to cast any spells because they're a Saga deck, I guess I'm going to get rid of the Steam Vents. Steam Vents and Ponder on top. And then Delver flips from Ponder. Kill the Ponder. Draw for turn. I'm going to bobble them, see what their deck's about. Is this just regular old lands? Oh, geez, a Tabernacle on top. Well, I am not shuffling away that Steam Vents now. That's why we check. Ponder. Oh, I am shuffling with the Steam Vents. Good news. But it's because I found something better. Don't shuffle my library. Top card is another Brainstorm. I do have a draw coming. I think I'd rather draw Wild. I'm going to grab Volcanic Island and pass the turn. Tabernacle's kind of annoying. Wasteland helps. The Tabernacle does not fuel Urza Saga in any sort of helpful way. Stage, okay. Investing in success over there. Up Wasteland, best card. back for my 6. I see what they do here. I'm probably going to Wasteland or Saga. Brainstorm could become Murktide Regent. Yeah, I'm interested in that. Or you're just dead. That's all right. Yeah, Delver's fun. I'm going to put back the Brainstorm and the Force of Will because I can actually cast Daze. They do anything with Stage or Saga in the end step. I'm just going to light them up. Making a Construct. Unfortunate life total you have there with Daze protection. A classic case of Delvering them out, quite literally. Okay, this is definitely lands. Beseiju, Urza Saga, Rishadan Bort. It looks like a more control-y version of lands, which is kind of not the normal way to build the deck anymore. But it's still going to be good. I probably want Meltdowns to fight the Sagas. Surgical Extraction helps against Loam and Punishing Fire, that sort of thing. I think that's better than Force of Will. Daze is actually pretty bad on the draw. Gonna fiddle around with the numbers of those. Submerge. I didn't see a single forest. That doesn't mean they don't have them. In fact, it could mean the opposite. Surgical Extraction. How hard do I want to go on the graveyard here? I guess with Wasteland, I can shove things into the graveyard whether they like it or not. My main deck Pyroblasts continue to be blank cardboard, but it doesn't matter. Hasn't broken me in a game 1 yet, and it's been easy sideboarding. Hydroblast. They might have their own Red Blast. They might have Valakut Exploration. They might have Punishing Fire. This Hydroblast is probably something I want on spec. I can cut a Chain Lightning. They might be able to red and send it back. Now, do I want to rebalance the number of bolts and forces? I have the same number of forces as I did game 1, just half of them are of negation now, and half are of will. I could cut a lightning bolt and put another Force of Will in. Fisher's Bauble is kind of medium. I always look at that card when I want to cut something. But I guess having Delirium and pushing for damage is important in this matchup. And Bolt is a nice way to close. Yeah, I'm gonna do it like this. And it looks pretty good. I'm gonna keep it. I got Threats and Answers. Cantrips. What else do you want? Mox Diamond. Not gonna fight over that. If they go all in on a Loam here and just get obliterated. I'm not gonna fight over Exploration. They could eventually run out of lands. Like, I have Force Negation for the Loam, and Exploration is not super potent after the point where it has played all the lands. I could fetch my basic right now, make sure I'm set up, or just dangle Volcanic Island in front of them. I'm gonna get my Dragon's Rage Channeler in. If they want to spend Spellbomb on killing it, go for it. I'll find other uses. But they have 2 cards left in hand. Alright, there's Merit Lage. Yeah, that was about as good as that gets. I need my Brazen Borrower now. They can kill my DRC. Yeah, I need to actually just raw dog Brazen Borrower. Oh, interesting. I don't think there's a way I can fool them into letting me have Delirium. I'm gonna start casting spells though, see if they fall for it. And in the graveyard, Ponder. This doesn't help. Oh, my Submerge actually gets me there. They do have a Forest in play. I shuffle a library, Murktide. Fetch, yeah, I get another. My DRC inexplicably still in play. Alright, 4 more looks at Submerge, maybe 5. Let's go. Show me Submerge. Show me Submerge. Force of Will, not it. Into the graveyard. Ponder. That's not it. A wild shuffle for the Submerge. Still not it. Okay, I'm dead. They gave me a lot of opportunities to get Delirium, though, which would have chump blocked and given me another turn to do stuff. Like, Pirate Spellbomb doesn't kill a 3/3. They're not punished for it here, but wrong. With perfect hindsight, if I force the Exploration, then that buys me 2 more turns to operate, but I think it's fine. I don't know that. I mean, with perfect information, but what if I just, like, have Wasteland, or if I find the Submerge? Yeah. I don't feel bad about that. Okay, Force of Will and Force of Negation, so good. Surgical and Hearse, if the game goes long. On the draw, I think they're more likely to want the game to go long, or to end up in a long game, whether they like it or not. I think some of these dazes can come back in. Or is Force just always better than Daze? I don't think that's true. I might have too much graveyard hate in right now. But I'd rather have too much than just die to Loam. That is the best thing they're doing against me. Okay. Going for it. Like this. +2 dazes from game 2. So I guess they didn't have to blow up my DRC, because if I was doing all that in my main phase, where if I got Delirium, I would have just had to attack. Yeah, they were fine. They were doing the right thing. Okay. I have turn 1 Delver. I'm gonna keep this. This is a strong proactive hand. I like it. Flooded Strand, Mishra's Bauble. I'm gonna look at their top card. Got a Life from the Loam. Okie. Me without my graveyard hate this time. Had 2 pieces of Loam hate in my last hand, and they just killed me without it. Now they have Loam. I don't currently have anything to say about it. Schadenport. Alright, that card's not great. However, let's go. Show me the money. Feeling the days. We're in there. Gonna attack. Should probably brainstorm. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. If I come up with another threat, I'll be good. I can bury cards that aren't good. Don't know if I'm gonna need this meltdown or not. Could just fetch and ponder here. I'm a long way away from Lightning Bolt being something I want to do. I do like the days. Especially now that they've seen it, they gotta really respect it. Alright, I got meltdown for later. I can fetch and ponder now, or I can hold up Hydroblast and make sure I can EI next turn. I'm gonna do that. Avamaya, okay. I can tap my Polluted Delta now. Fear of Resistance, alright. Now I have Daze. They don't know I have Meltdown on top of my deck, but I know that's not helping me. Okay, I'm gonna Daze that. Like Spirit Guide or some shit. Alright, nope. I'm gonna fetch in the end step. I don't want those cards that are on top. That's a good one. I can waste them off maybe green sources for a long time, or I can develop myself. I'm gonna start with a Ponder, see where this goes. Another land, another red source specifically. Am I in a wasteland fight? They haven't accelerated yet. They have shown me Loam, which I don't really want to wasteland into. Not really developing Expressive Iteration if I wasteland here. I could just jam Dragon's Rage Channeler. No, I don't get both of these cards, and I picked up my basic island, so I can't jam Dragon's Rage Channeler here. I'm actually going to shuffle this Ponder. It's just not doing anything that I need it to do. And I am going to push the Delver angle, go after the green source. If they go like Mox Diamond, Wasteland, Loam, I'm just in the trash. But I'm ready for that. I'm ready to live in that world. Accept the consequences of my actions. Another Sphere. All right. Can't counter this one. This list doesn't have Price of Progress in it either. A real shame. The card's good. I'm going to ponder. Let's keep moving forward. I'd like to find Submerge or something that makes my life easy. Murktide Region and Wasteland are both on the docket. I like those. Murktide can shove through the sphere. It actually even makes Murktide bigger if I have enough spells, and then I can also play Wasteland. But they have Schadenport. But if they spend mana porting, especially under their own sphere, they're going to die to Delver. So they got to do something here. Pick up Avamaya. That Wasteland's looking worse and worse. They just like tap out for a Loam here. They're getting obliterated in the air. Chalice on 1. Okay, I don't care about that. The damage is done, as they say. Back for 3. And Murktide. Big ol' 7/7 Murktide. Hold up a Wasteland. I could hit them with Wasteland or just make sure that I don't get Merit Laged. I think I'm just going to make sure I don't get Merit Laged. They're dead on board. And kind of locked under their own sphere and Chalice. They can't Exploration. Crop rotation is off. Yeah. That did not go their way. All right. And we're 2-0. Let's keep it going. We're a few rounds into the video. Thanks for sticking with me. Friendly reminder that if you're still here and having fun, smash that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, you can use my affiliate link for TCG Player to support the channel while you shop for cards, and you can try any deck anytime with a cardhoarder.com loan account for Magic Online. All these links are in the video description below. Now back to the league. We're 3 for 3 on die rolls. My opponent has revealed Yorion. I'm going to keep my hand full of lightning bolts. Yorion is usually Death and Taxes, but there's a bunch of other stuff it could be. Every time I say it's usually Death and Taxes, it's just not. But here we go. And I have to fetch Volcanic Island here for my hand to function, even if I think they're a Wasteland deck. Being on the play with Delver gives me the comfort that if they just snap off a Wasteland, it's all good. Don't think this is my fight, but maybe it is. Yeah, I actually am going to make this my fight. Death and Taxes has so much removal that it's really hard to actually connect with anything. Oh, wow. All right, they're willing to fight over this. That turned into a 3 for 3. Okay, interesting. All right, draw a replacement threat, please, deck. Okay, I don't have a threat. That's what I was talking about. You kind of have to be a burn deck against Death and Taxes because they are going to beat you in the late game and they have tons of removal. Ugh. Yeah, this hand's working out pretty well for them. Let's see if they want this Wasteland as a mana source or if they want it to be a Wasteland. And my dreams of forcing Aether Vial and then bolting their creatures and them dying to Delver have fallen apart here. Okay, they've chosen my upkeep to Wasteland me. You got me. Whatever. Volcanic Island. Fresh Delver, get in. And I am going to play my Mystic Sanctuary. I'm going to need my mana for this matchup. Okay. Plains is not Wasteland. Alright, Stoneforge Mystic is a hell of a 2-drop, but I kept my double bolt hand here for this possibility. And after a Lion Sash, disappointing. It's a conservative get. Wasteland doesn't really help here. Got a Chain Lightning. I am going to attack. I am pretty happy to trade a Delver for Mother of Runes here, if that happens. Do I play out the Wasteland? Wasteland's good against like Rashad and Port if they have that. But I'd rather have it in my hand for Brainstorm. I'd rather Brainstorm it away if it's bad. If they play a white source right now, they can make Lion Sash a 4/4 immediately. If it's a 3/3, I can still beat it. Alright, you got a 2/2. Got a 3/3. It's a 4/4. Okay, the race is on. Okay, they've got a 4/4 and my graveyard's under control. Is it possible I'm just not supposed to bolt the Stoneforge Mystic? Here's Days, thanks for showing up. And maybe I'm just not supposed to bolt the Stoneforge Mystic after they show me Lion Sash. But if their one card in hand is Cauldra, I get completely punked by that. They also needed the land. I don't know. We've gotten outdrawn here, and I'm not like saying like, oh, they're so lucky they drew good cards, but like there are cards that matter in the matchup and cards that don't on both sides, and Wasteland is one of the bad ones for me. They had Plow and Solitude in their opening hand and just went after it aggressively to kick the game off. That's bad for me. Now they're just sinking into this 7/7 and smearing me. Okay. Well, if any card can get me back into this, that one's going to help. Okay, Lightning Bolt in my hand, Days on the bottom, exile Flooded Strand. Play Flooded Strand. There are no permanents in the graveyard right now. I'm going to attack and hope they don't have Flicker Wisp, but I can't beat it even if they do. They can attack me to 4, and I have 9 damage in my hand right now. Oh god. Yeah, the Vial's actually doing something. That's bad. Yeah, I needed them to just blank on some draws, and they have not done that. Palace Jailer. And Vial's about to be a 4. Okay. Now we're good. We don't need to see more of this. Okay, that went poorly. It's really interesting that they just fought over Delver on turn 1. Either they know something I don't, like maybe the Aether Vial was their draw for turn 2 and it wasn't in the opening hand, but like spending 3 cards to fight over Delver on turn 1 is really fascinating. Okay, I want Null Rod, I want Rough Tumble, I want 1 Meltdown probably. Narset is fine. I like card advantage. She may not make the cut finally, but I am looking at it right now. The rest of these cards are not good. And my Pyroblasts have betrayed me again. Force of Will is fine. Daze is fine on the play. Mishra's Bauble's pretty bad against Thalia decks. I guess I could bring in Surgical and exile Plow, which is something that I normally don't like as a plan, but if they have like 8 cards I really care about, which are Solitude and Plow, if I can clear them out, the goal is to just punch over the finish line with Murktide Regent, and Surgical does help you do that. All right, I'm not bringing in all these meltdowns. I might not even bring in any. I didn't see an Urza Saga, and I think Taxes has drifted away from it in the past month or so. I'm going to shave 1 more Daze, and I'm going to cut the 2 Pyroblasts, 1 Daze, and the Bauble. The rest of these cards are fine. All right, let's do it. It is very clear that this list was built to beat exactly the Mirror and 8 cast, and like not really anything else. Okay, I can settle into the control game, like the EI control game, which isn't really where I want to be, but I'm not going to mulligan this keepable hand over it. My opponent's going to be pretty stoked when I do nothing on turn 1, not even Ponder. But I have Daze for Aether Vial, I have Bolt for a creature. A lot of iterations. Please don't wasteland me. I would love if they just hardcast a 2-drop right now. Let me daze you. Yes. Cast Daze on Thalia. Feels good, man. Sign me up for more of that secret sauce, whatever that was. Okay, Expressive Iteration. Let's go. Don't betray me. Did not betray me. Okay. I can keep the EIs rolling. It's got to be better than Surgical Extraction right now. Yeah, EI in my hand, Surgical on the bottom. Exile the land, make my land drop. Okay. There's 2 plans in Delver. There's the attack them dead and back it up with Daze and Force of Will, and then there's the bury them in Expressive Iteration. And based on my keep and the matchup, we are firmly in bury them mode. And now they know Daze is still in my deck. They got to think about what they're doing with their mana here. I'm 1 land away from regrowing EIs. I'm not going to fight over Thalia. Murktide Regent. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm not quite there yet. I can just pay 3 for an EI. Gas up. Yeah, like that. Iterate. Oh no, no lands. Alright. Put Rough Tumble in my hand. Exile a DRC. That's going to tragically stay in exile forever. Pass the turn. Alright. They got me where they want me here. Hitting land drops is part of the EI plan, and we have fallen short of doing that. Alright, just dumping shit into my Rough Tumble is fine. The Caracas can pick up Thalia. That's at least something that has to happen. I'm just going to Rough here. Kills the Spirit, it makes them act on the Thalia. And then next turn I can Murktide through or Murktide with Force of Will back up through the Thalia. I could even, oh, I can't bolt something also. Okay. Wasteland would be pretty bad for me. Other basic planes and passing the turn, you got it. Another land, you love to see that. Okay. Murktide Regent, let's go. I'm leaving a spell in my graveyard because I have another Murktide, and I expect to fight over this one, and then the second one can grow the first one. If this one is still in play for next turn, it'll just get the boost anyway. And if it's not, I'm going to be glad I didn't spend any extra resources on it. Force pitching Brainstorm for the hard cast Solitude there. They can't plow now thanks to their own Thalia. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I cannot re-Murktide here. I can attack with the first Murktide though. Go. Well, they took the damage. I'm gonna Expressive Iteration. Finding another force here would be great. I'll take Mystic Sanctuary though. Yeah, that's actually good. So, Blooded Strand in my hand, Holding Tarn on the bottom, or I probably just want to fetch for the Sanctuary to get an extra card from Murktide, right? Okay, so Mystic Sanctuary on the bottom, play Scalding Tarn, and Scalding Tarn can pick up Force of Will next turn. I missed a damage by doing it this way, but that's okay. Like, if Murktide's still in play, I'll pick up the Force. If it's not, I'll pick up the EI. I can't put Force on top and Brainstorm it into my hand, all in response to a Solitude because of the Thalia. Alright, popping Yorion in the hand. I like that. Not a great use of mana on this board state. End step. Gonna Mystic Sanctuary, Force of Will back to the top. I'm gonna Bolt Face in the end step. Just get this additional card into the graveyard. I gotta spend this mana eventually. If I Bolt here, they know I can't force a plow, but I can't force the plow anyway. Okay, we are at my turn. Schadenport. Do I want to brainstorm here? Probably. I'm gonna brainstorm. I found, oh well, I didn't find force. I knew that was there. Okay. Maybe that brainstorm was bad. But I can not quite kill my opponent here. If I play the other Murktide, they are dead on board, but Solitude doesn't stop that. I could win in 2 turns with force backup. I think I just want to slam the damage in now. Just going to Chain Lightning their face. Play another Murktide. I guess I could have just attacked. This is already lethal. It would have died to the Chain Lightning. Oh no, it's not. I did the math. I was right the first time. All right, now I'm going maximum big. They hit kind of what we hit last game, where these 5, 6, 7 lands in play. That's a few too many. They just like left 4 mana unspent on this last turn cycle, where last game I kind of flooded out when I needed hits and they kept drawing good cards. There's a lot of polarizing cards in the matchups. Usually redundant lands are where things really get off the rails. Okay, Daze is worse on the draw, but I think it's still good. I don't really see a better card I'd like in the deck. I could turn a Daze into a Meltdown, which could clean up some Mather Vials, or if they are a Saga deck that I just haven't seen in 2 games. Lion Sash, it kills a 4/4 Lion Sash. Alright, I'll bring 1 Meltdown in and play in this deck. This hand is hyper aggressive, and I kind of like it. I'm going to keep. The floor of any Delver matchup is just Dragon's Rage Channeler in for 6 3 times. Delver 2. The whole squad is here. I think I like Channeler better for this matchup. It gets in the air more reliably, and like flickering it doesn't kill it the way it like functionally kills Delver. And you can Daze Thalia again. You still have Daze in your deck on the draw. What are you doing? I'm gonna keep Bolt on top of my library. The 2 of Daze, keep your opponent honest. Okay, so I'm gonna play Volcanic Island and another DRC. If I force something this turn, I get 1,000,000 Surveils. And then, like, I can Force of Will whatever happens this turn, and then Bolt. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Surveils. So many. I'm gonna let this happen and Bolt it, rather than spend a Force of Will on something I don't have to. Lion Sash can control Delirium, but I'm planning on just overloading that. I'm gonna Bolt in my upkeep, so it will give me some control over what I draw this turn. Brazen Borrower. I want to get these Delirious. I'm just going to mill basically everything. And Island. Pretty good. Still not Delirious. That sucks. Still have a Force and a Bolt. Yeah. 5 cards in my graveyard do not represent enough types. I'm gonna Bolt in my up again. Probably. Yeah, going for the Lion Sash this time. Bolt your Stoneforge Mystic. Meltdown into the graveyard. That gives me Delirium. Expressive Iteration on top. That's the reload I'm looking for. After I Force of Will this turn, I'm going to want to just bury them in cards. I'm going to save the Delver to pitch to Force. EI is the better card here. And that's not worth a Force of Will to me. Daze, what's up? Card's so messed up. Left 2 in the deck, drew them both. Easy game. Expressive Iteration. Murktide Regent. To the graveyard. Not ready for that. Okay. DRC in my hand. Misty Rainforest on the bottom. Exile Volcanic Island. Volcanic Island. Play the other DRC. That way if I Daze this turn, I get double Delirium. So Force and Daze against this opponent who's dying quickly. Delver. Evoking Solitude, pitching Recruiter of the Guard. I'm not going to fight that. I probably could, but it's not gonna. I'll take a 2-for-1 at this point. And to get to Daze your Lion Sash. Oh, those Dazes. Delver. I'll leave Delver on top. That lets me deploy another threat while holding up force. Land, Delver, put you to 5. Are dead if there's a spell on top of my deck. I think I want to hold up force rather than play a third creature, because if I force something, Surveil lets me look at the top, doubles my chances to flip Delver, in case they have some. I'm trying to think of what sweeper they might have. Like Flicker Wisp is kind of annoying. Not a sweeper, but it sucks. Okay, let's flip this thing. Narset, bummer. Okay. Draw for turn. I'm going to play Narset, trigger DRC. I'm going to leave Iteration on top. That's a good one. The opponent's had enough. We got to see both halves of the deck in this match. We saw the half where we keep a hand with no threats and multiple expressive iterations and just bury. And then we saw the half that just plays 1 mana, 3 power creatures until the opponent dies. Awesome match. 3-0. Let's go. I've won the 4th consecutive die roll. And I have a turn 1 Delver. I'm going to keep this. Let's see if the Pyroblast that has finally appeared in my hand is going to burn me or actually be good. Can we skate unpunished through life? Not drawing the Pyroblast when they're bad and drawing them when they're good. Show me an island. Put it into play. I'm going to become the Joker. Playing against green-white depths with Pyroblast in my hand. I'm going to let that resolve. I'll let Murktide Regent do the work here, I guess. AI off the top. Oh, Daze is not bad, though. I'm going to play the island. This lets me hardcast Daze, and I can save my fetch land if I find a Brainstorm. Just jam Knight of the Reliquary, please. Oh, God. Oh, that card's not beatable. I'm going to force it, pitching my Daze. See if they have main deck Pyroblast also. It's much better for them than it is for me. Alright, Expressive Iteration off the top, save the day. Wasteland. I can just poop that in play and make sure I don't die to Dark Depths. This is falling apart quickly. This is one of the harder matchups. And I have this stupid Pyroblast in my hand. Now they can just... This Mox Diamond has just let them play this whole game ahead of Daze. Expressive Iteration, please. Oh no. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I could play a 4/4 Murktide Regent. Just jam it into play right now. I have to tap out of Wasteland to do that, though. I guess I will put Flooded Strand into play and pass the turn, and then die quickly. This is what I was talking about in the deck tech of Pyroblast being a really smart choice for Swiss rounds, but probably bad in leagues. And we are 0 for 4 on decks with any blue cards in them at all. All right, come on, card selection. That's not it. This could be fine, I guess. Let's see. I'm gonna play. Oh wait, nope. Thought it was fine, but it's not fine. Can't just get this Murktide Regent into play. Yeah, I guess that's what I'm... Get to leave up Wasteland, and they could Bajuka Bog me if they want to anyway. So I'll just put a 4/4 flying into play. Knight is doing night things. Your Wasteland. Wasteland my Wasteland. I'll Wasteland your Windswept Heath for good measure. Am I supposed to go after Flagstones there? Does it matter? I'm trying to determine if, like, going after Flagstones does anything, because if they rotate away Flagstones, they end up with 2 lands. If I Wasteland the Flagstones, they get the plains, end up with 1 land. Yeah, maybe wasting Flagstones is actually better than just putting it in the graveyard on the Windswept Heath. It's not pretty either way. Oh god. They are hellbent, but I don't really have a path out of this game. None of those cards are involved. Shuffle it up. Yeah, if there's a path, it starts here. I guess I could have wasted Blast Zone. None of the... Oh, shit. This is Expressive Iteration, not Ponder. I was ready to shuffle this away, but that's not a choice I get. Alright. We're in the Garbo hole. Putting away Blast Zone before I can waste it. That makes sense. They're gonna get another Wasteland. Are dead on board yet? 8, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Brazen Borrower is like the only card that's even a little bit playable at this point. and that's pretty bad. If they just get like Bajuka Bog right now, they might try to move themselves forward by getting Thespian Stage or something, but Bajuka Bog will just shut off anything resembling an out. Got the depths. Love how they're just bashing me with a 10-10 and threatening a 20-20 behind it. Oh, they have the 20-20 now. That's right. Okay. This gives me a chance to spike Brazen Borrower and stabilize. And by stabilize, I mean die next turn to their 14 power in play. Yeah, they literally have 16 power in play because the lands all die. I have to just rip the Brazen Borrower straight up. All right, that wasn't it. Dragon's Rage Channeler, Ponder, Volcanic Island in the graveyard, shuffle this, and then die. Yep. All right. Yeah, that was an absolute smashing. That is why Green-White Depths is so good against Delver. They're good at playing against Daze. They have white removal. Their creatures are bigger than my removal. Oof. Okay. Submerge. I like Hearse. Hearse can control the size of the Knights and the Reclaimers, slow down Ramonep Excavator, that kind of thing. Pyroblast finally punished. Submerge into Hearse in. Rough Tumble can kill the smallest Reclaimers and a literally no buff Knight of the Reliquary. Not pretty. Surgical Extraction can beat up on their plows and punch Murktide through. I guess that's something I'm interested in. Chain Lightning and Lightning Bolt. Kind of want to be a burn deck against them, but this build doesn't have the Price of Progresses in it. That would really help go that distance. There's no Snapcaster Mage in this build. All of those are cards that I would have in my deck in a fair, like, local meta, like my local meta game. Delver exists, but there's a lot of Green-White Depths and Death and Taxes kind of stuff. And this deck, like we've said multiple times, is not built to fight this kind of fight. Elrod could beat up Ox Diamonds, but it's worse for my Hearse than it is for them. Narset shuts down Sylvan Library in a way that is actually interesting. I don't have to spend 2 cards on it. I'm going to try it like this. All my flying creatures, all my burn, and my most potent free counter spells, which are Force of Will. A lot of their things I care about are creatures, so Force of Negation doesn't really play. Also, Swords of Plowshares and Crop Rotation, they can cast on my turn. No threat, but some of the best cards in my deck. I don't think I can keep this. No. Discipline Mulligan here. Okay, keeping this one. And I'm going to send Narset away. I don't want to push towards a Murktide mid-game, end-game situation. They have Swords of Plowshares and Prismatic Ending. All bad news, but I actually have card selection this game, which I didn't have in game 1. The mulligan hurts as well. Looks like they're gonna plow in my upkeep. I'm still gonna brainstorm. Just getting the value off DRC I think is too good. The land in the graveyard. More lands. Okay, Mystic Sanctuary and Volcanic Island on top. My creature's gone. Then I'm gonna shuffle away that Mystic Sanctuary that I don't want. Or I could draw it and save my fetch land. Yeah, I'm going to save my fetch land to go with Brainstorm. I think that's a better use of the resources I have right now. I can put it back in the deck with this Brainstorm anyway. Another DRC. All right, Mystic Sanctuary, get out of here. And Volcanic Island, get out of here. I could slam Murktide Regent right now, or I could try to push it with Dragon's Rage Channeler if they crop rotate me. I think Murktide Regent is pretty good here. The 5/5. I don't think I would Force of Will here to protect it. Now, Brainstorm plus DRC is the type of thing that's going to dig me out of this game more than just cheesing with a 5/5. Basic lands going nuts here. Reclaimer. The 1/2, but can be 3/4 with a fetch land crack. DRC. Brainstorm. Jeez. Through 3 plows this game. That surgical would have been good. Lightning Bolt. Not helpful because this thing can get big when it wants to. Fucking surgical extraction right on time. Okay. 1 plow left in the deck. It's good stuff. if I put back Misty Rainforest Surgical Extraction, I can EI into the land next turn. All right. Here's Delver. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, that opening 7 that I mulliganed had the Surgical in it, which would have been good for 1 or 2 extra cards here. Now I just like don't even want to do that. Just a Raw Dog Bajuka Bog. Got it. Reclaimer's active now. I'm gonna see the Surgical. I think that's fine. It's nice seeing that Bajuka Bog because now I can EI into Mystic Sanctuary and actually pick it up. Here's my iteration. Ponder in hand or land in hand. I want to ponder here. I'm going to put the Ponder in my hand, Volcanic Island on the bottom, exile Misty Rainforest, play Misty Rainforest, attack for 3. I can ponder now, or I can hold up Force of Will. I think I'm going to chill. What they got here. Thespian Stage. Okay. A Wasteland messes up my business here. I'm just going to fetch now. Mystic Sanctuary, pick up the Expressive iteration. Because if they play a Wasteland, then I can't fetch, because then I won't have 3 islands when it resolves. EI plus Ponder sees a million cards looking for Submerge or Brazen Borrower if they go for the Merit Lage. I have Force for something like Crop Rotation. There's the Wasteland as advertised. Knight of the Reliquary. Alright, that's my second best surgical target. Fetching in response. Am I getting veiled? Oh god. My life is pain. I'm living in a world of shit. Alright. Oh no, Pyroblast. Right. We knew they were on the splash. At least it's not Veil. Also bad, but hashtag at least it's not Veil. Okay, so I'm gonna EI, and if I find Submerge, I can Submerge the Knight and then Surgical and shuffle it away. Not interested in Wastelanding me. They're saving Wasteland for my Wasteland to protect their Dark Depths. Brazen Borrower in hand. Volcanic Island on the bottom. Exile Wasteland. Or play my Wasteland. Just gonna waste this Thespian Stage. The fuck out. Not doing that today. Petty Theft, the Knight. Gonna stop in their draw step. Oh wait, no. If I do that, then they can rotate with Reclaimer. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of Thespian Stage right now. Knight and Yavimaya. There's 1 Endurance in the deck, 4 Zeniths, 1 Loam, 3 more Knights, 2 Endings, 3 Pyroblasts, and a Red Blast. Wandering Emperor, my god. Shadow Spear. Is Urza Saga in this deck, or are we just down and dirty Shadow Spear? There's 1 Saga, okay. Alright. It's gonna be tough. But I have my Air Force assembled. Alright. Just, like, don't draw good cards for a couple turns here. Flagstones. I mean, that's pretty good. They had the Land Tutor anyway. Here's a Knight. Gonna race? We're not gonna race. He's probably not good. Sectile Aberration, get in there. Getting Blast Zone. Saga. What's the race? Where are we going here? There's a lot of stuff they can do, and all of it kills me. That's where we are right now. I'm also just not winning the damage race. I need to rip Lightning Bolt. This Saga immediately goes to Chapter 2 because it was just Chapter 1 when it came into play in my end step. Yeah, I'm not winning the damage race. I need them to brick and me to rip a Lightning Bolt. That's how this game goes my way. I lose to Pyroblast, lose to the last Swords to Plowshares in the deck, lose to Prismatic Ending. All of that is true. Didn't see a Maze of Ith, but I wasn't really looking. Should have taken a screenshot. Don't even know what I'm playing around. But luckily, I don't really have much choice to make. Okay, I'm at 7. You are at 2 on board. With a deck full of removal. Didn't Zenith. I like that. Alright, Lightning Bolt off the top. No! Does this help? No, because they can get Shadow Spear and just kill me. Alright. I am defeated. The Trophy Dream is dead. Yeah, this is the Nightmare matchup, and we just saw exactly how they take you apart. This was a Nightmare matchup when they were green-white, and now they've adopted Pyroblast as well. It's just and absolute smearing. GG's. On to the final round.
For the absolute best Magic the Gathering apparel on the market, check out the link in the video description to coalesceapparel.shop, and be sure to use the code BoshNRoll for 10% off when you check out.
I have lost a die roll, thank God. I would hate to stop complaining about being unlucky at die rolls by winning all 5. So we saved that. Playing against some sort of Yorion strategy. My opponent just asked, are you testing a cool brew? Am I going to see myself in a video? One of those things is true. I'm going to keep this hand. It has EI, which lets me take this reactive posture without just dying. Okay, it looks like Esper Vial. Not a lot of Marsh Flats decks playing Yorion. There it is. I'm going to Force of Will this because the mana in this deck is horrendous. If I can force this and Wasteland them, the game might just end. Oh, baby. Another Wasteland. Yeah, this is the posture I'm taking based on what they've shown me here. Don't have another Vial. They said they expected something spicier. Yep, sorry. They're not all winners. Alright, Esper Sentinel's pretty good. I'm gonna stay committed to the Wasteland plan. I mean, I can take one for a while from Esper Sentinel. If they just fail to play the game, that's good for me. See if this ends up biting me. We got Basic Island. This could be some sort of like Urza Thopter deck. Thinking about like what could exist in the spectrum of legacy decks. Okay, here's Pyroblast. Confirmed islands in the deck. If I can wait another turn without having to act and Lightning Bolt this Esper Sentinel, that's good stuff. As much as I'd love to Pyroblast that, I'm not trading a cantrip for a hard draw and a card out of my hand. If Esper Sentinel wasn't in play, you better believe I would have fired off the Pyroblast, though. The third Wasteland. Okay, so they can fetch basics and fail to cast spells, or they can fetch non-basics and play into Wasteland. That might have been the spot to Lightning Bolt. Because if I Lightning Bolt, pay the extra, and then they counter it, that's rough. I'm going to hold up Pyroblast for the turn. This is starting to look like a blue-white deck and not Esper. Oh, okay, it's this. Sure. Alright, yeah, it's Cephalid Breakfast, you got it. Okay. Gonna Lightning Bolt this Esper Sentinel in the end step. Lightning Bolt, Esper Sentinel. Just had to reread Nomads real quick, make sure that they send their damage elsewhere, they don't collect damage from other creatures. Yeah, they protect themselves. They're very selfish. Okay. Handled that without them getting an extra card off it. Alright, that's really good. I'm going to Wasteland the Tundra, and now I can Lightning Bolt Nomads and Pyroblast something. They said the Wastelands are endless, and I said, yeah, Delver sucks. We've all been there. I just am currently the mayor of that town. Okay. Aether Vial. Hopefully that's a little late to the party. I'm going to take the 1 here, and I am going to Bolt the Nomad. That is half of a combo. It's the half that's not blue. I'd like a clear board when I go into my EI here. Just realized I did not have a stop in their main phase. Must have turned that off last game. Whoops. Okay, Expressive Iteration. I need you to come up with a source of red mana. And we got there. I'm going to put Ponder in my hand, Delta on the bottom, exile Volcanic Island, play the Volcanic. Can I lose this turn? Yes. Then I will just not lose instead. I'm not going to Ponder because if I tap out and they go land, cast, Cephalid Illusionist, Vial, and Nomads, I lose. There's the land. Oh man, it's happening. Played around it. You're just tapping 3 mana into Daze right now. Oh, okay, it's Yorion. That's fair. That's a good way to spend 3 mana versus Daze. Have another land here, so EI can get a little frisky. Speaking of endless, here we go. No fun allowed. That is a Wasteland. I don't think I want Wasteland anymore, though. Does make Daze good. This Vial is concerning. I could just Delver DRC and put the shields up. Start attacking. I'm going to put Delver in my hand, Wasteland on the bottom, exile DRC, and then play Channeler. leaving up Pyroblast. But now they can vial in the blue part, but I can kill it, right? If they cast Nomads first and then violin, can't disrupt that. Where's the Plowshares? Yeah, that's fine. Deal. It vials on 2. We're chilling. Force of Will, join the party. Ponder. Lightning Bolt, I'm very happy to see. Put Ponder on top. All right, now I have a threat with 3 layers of protection. Brazen Borrower is my only main deck out to this Aether Vial as it slowly ticks up to Yorion. I can Pyroblast Yorion. That's not even a huge deal. All right, we're at 3 on the Aether Vial. We actually are just ticking up. A Caracas, I guess, messes with that plan. Feel that Ponder. I'm gonna cast Ponder. There's a land on top of my deck I don't really want. ERC Lightning Bolt. Right, am I ready to go full Lightning Bolt, Guns Blazing, aggro? I could take the land and pick up Expressive Iteration. Decide if I want Lightning Bolt. Okay. I'm committing to Expressive Iteration. Back for 3. Uh-oh. What's this shit? Backlave Apparition, that's fair. Sure. Right, this deck's a little heavier than other builds I've seen. Let's see if this vial goes up to 4. All right, it did. Yeah, I can Lightning Bolt this. I have the Pyroblast, and now that vial's on 4, they can't sneak the Cephalid Illusionist in past what I'm doing. My Pyroblast. Archamoeba. Yeah, that's not it. You can have that one. In the end step, I'm going to go for an Expressive Iteration. Sanctuary, pick up the EI. We're having fun now. This has been a great game. There's been some banter about Delver, boring, etc. All true, but this is a good game. And I have days that can reset Mystic Sanctuary. Oh, the Brazen Borrower right on time. Okay. Murktide Regent in my hand. Flooded Strand on the bottom. Exile the Brazen Borrower. I'm going to borrow this Aether Vial right before it was about to be good. I have Pyroblast protection on this if they do a Force of Will. Okay, that's gone. And I am going to attack with my Illusion. Trading the Illusion with Narcomoeba is fine because I have a 3-1 that Narcomoeba can also trade with. Waiting on the stack here. On an adventure, as they say. A Brainstorm. This is the fight. I think I like fighting over this Brainstorm. I know their hand is Yorion, Aether Vial, and some blanks. Main deck Pyroblast finally hit something. Aether Vial. I could Daze just to pick up the Sanctuary. I don't think that's awful. Yeah, this endless stream of Expressive Iterations is nice. Not convinced Daze is getting much better here. Yep, Narcomoeba, better attack. If it didn't block, it needs to attack. Those are the rules. I don't make them, I just live by them. Or I should attack first. Attack for 1. Murktide Regent for maximum size. Mystic Sanctuary makes it even bigger. Put EI on top. All right, and I have the mana to Lightning Bolt or Brazen Borrow. 9/9 Murktide. No sweat. Can I lose here? I think. I'm not exactly sure how redirection works. Like if they vial in Nomads and then cast the other thing, the Illusionist, can I bolt in response? That was pretty good. Good Swords to Plowshares. Ooh, don't like this attack with Narcomoeba. Yeah, okay, they figured it out. Yep, I have Brazen Borrower. Oh, nope, it's still coming in. I just gained 9, and I'm gonna drop my 3-1 now. And what is the draw? It's Expressive Iteration. Do that first. Oh. All right. EI in my hand. Daze on the bottom. Exile EI. EI into EI into EI. Uh-oh. Murktide Regent in my hand. Polluted Delta. I should probably use the Polluted Delta because all of my... Oh no, there's one fetchable left in the deck. All right. Okay. I'll exile the Delta. There is... I'll leave Steam Vents and Basic Island in the deck. Attack for 4. See if I can flush out a Swords to Plowshares. No Yorion and 2 mystery cards in the hand. I could just lose, though. Lightning Bolt is keeping me alive. Alright, I'm gonna be a coward. And by coward, I mean careful. Like, I'm winning on this board state. If I tap out from Murktide, it puts a big body into play, but it also opens up the possibility of losing to their combo right now. But with Lightning Bolt and Force of Will, I don't know that's a thing that can happen on these low resources. They are Cabal Therapy deck, though. That's actually pretty fucked up. It happens. Alright, Prismatic Ending is fine. Deal. That did its job. Kept Yorion out of play for 5 turns. Didn't attack this time. Good call. Probably should have fetched tapped Steam Vents in the end step. I'll have to live in regret on that one. Collect my 1 point of damage here. Finally traded off the Narc Amoeba. And... uh-oh. It never fucking stops. It's awful. A Pyroblast in my hand. Do I want Brainstorm or Chain Lightning? Yes. I'm going to Chain Lightning. Brainstorm on the bottom. Exile Chain Lightning. Chain Lightning straight upstairs. Because now they're dead to 1 bolt. After the one in my hand, of course. And I have Daze in my hand that can pick up Mystic Sanctuary. But yeah, are we having fun yet? Multiple layers of protection. Yorion and 2 mystery cards in the hand. About to be 3 mystery cards when they draw. Vial went up to 3, so I'm not getting combo killed this turn. Probably should Pyroblast this. Though I will. They've not indicated that the combo is online. Force, pitching Daze. I'm just going to go for it here. Push towards the finish line. We know the last 2 cards aren't the 2 combo pieces because of Yorion in hand. I don't think Brainstorm has happened since Yorion did. Maybe it did. Did I counter that Brainstorm? I did not. Okay. Alright, well, we managed to wade through that. Saw 36, well, I drew 36 cards that game. I probably saw the whole deck. Okay, Pyroblast. We've seen Esper Sentinel and Aether Vial. That's enough for me to bring in 2 Meltdowns. I like it. Narset. I think I like. Rough Tumble. Yeah, if they're on this, like, blue-white taxes world, I'm happy to exist in it. Bring in Red Elemental Blast. I don't quite know about Null Rod. It turns off Shuko, which is one of their combo pieces, and Aether Vial. It doesn't interact with Esper Sentinel, though. I guess that's enough. The Daze was really good there, but on the draw against this deck, probably not interested in the full boat. Chain Lightning will find targets. Mishra's Bauble I'm cutting because I'm bringing in Null Rods. Force of Will seems like something I want access to, but maybe not the full boat of them. Daze is probably worse than Force, though. Alright, I'm not going to try to get fancy here. Just doing the removal in, Daze is out. And for the first match, I'm not cutting my Pyroblast. I think I like this hand. I'm going to keep it. I wish I had another land, but it's Delver. We only play 19 of them. There's the Vial. I think this is... Alright, fuck it. I brought in Meltdowns for this reason. Let's find them. I think I want to lead on DRC. That gives me the selection. DRC and Delver both have resistance to Rough Tumble. But if I specifically let Aether Vial resolve because Meltdown's in my deck somewhere, then I want to play the thing that helps me find Meltdown. I'm going to play Flooded Strand. I'm going to start with a Brainstorm. Do like Lightning Bolt, put that on top. Brainstorm can put back, I think it's Rough Tumble and Murktide Regent. Not ready for Murktide, but an important card to have when it's time. And they haven't indicated any end destruction. Alright, I'm gonna Rough Tumble and Pluto Delta into the deck. Do I risk death by casting my Delver? I don't think so. I'm gonna leave up the Lightning Bolt. I am gonna fetch, though, to play around Opposition Agent. I don't know their life. It could happen. Hull Breacher could be in this deck. That's another thing to consider. Right, now they're on 3 mana. That's Hull Breacher, that's Opposition Agent, on top of whatever else. Much more black mana arriving this game than we saw in the past. Do I want a lightning bolt to fuel RC here? Put some pressure on them. A lightning bolt is so good. But I'm going to use all my mana for the next several turns. I'm going to cash in. Brainstorm into the graveyard now that you're showing me Hull Breacher. Brainstorm is not the effect I'm looking for here. I'll take Ponder though. Keep that on top. I like that one. Ooh, EIN Narset. All these cards are so good. I'm going to put Narset in my hand. Do I attack? I think I'm going to chill. Really wanted to hit a land that turn. Here we are instead. Activating Vial. Stoneforge Mystic. That's a powerful card. Spatter Skull. Alright, I'm going to Lightning Bolt before the Spatter Skull's in play. Mill the Ponder that I put there on purpose. Now EI is the top card of my deck. Vial went up to 3. That's good. I mean, it's weird that I'm like rooting for a Death and Taxes game plan, like, as I know they have a combo game plan as well. Vial on 3 is actually kind of a nightmare. That's the Hull Breacher, the uncounterable, untouchable Hull Breacher. Luckily, EI doesn't care about Hull Breacher. A basic swamp from the opponent. Vial on 3, here we go. Plague Engineer, yep. There goes my DRC, and Delver is now also bad. Guess it's Murktide's time to shine. Or I could EI and just bury a little deeper. Yeah, that sounds good. It's going to go deeper here. Nice. I'm going to put Wasteland in my hand. Delver on the bottom. The Volcanic Island. Just gives me another land drop guaranteed. This can help cast Narset. It could also just be Wasteland. A Brainstorm. Do I want to beat this up? I think I do. This might have been a trick, but I don't like it. I've been sculpting my hand to make this Murktide hit as hard as possible, and slowing down their development can only be good for me. I have Force of Will with this now completely dead Delver to cast a spell that I care about. Next turn, I can put Yorion in hand and immediately Vial it in. Recruiter of the Guard. That's not a card I want to play against. I would have liked to save that Force of Will to protect Murktide, but if Recruiter happens now, it gets something messed up like Solitude or Palace Jailer. Next turn, Yorion flickers Recruiter, and we're just in the trash. They do only have one white land, though. Oh, wow, that was aggressive. Wow. Oh, I guess it doesn't matter because they can just put Yorion in hand. Yeah, that was good. I don't like it. I can Narset, user, hope to spike one of the lightning bolts left in my deck, or I can let Narset sit and play for a turn. There are only 2 bolts left in my deck. Yeah, this sucks. I think I need to dig. I can't really beat this Yorion flickering the Palace Jailer. Yeah, is that where I want to be? Can I beat this opponent going long? Do I have to ponder and hope this works out faster than that? No, I think I have to go long. Narset's just going to die here. That sucks. Maybe someone smarter than me would have just left Narset on 5, but we've seen Prismatic Ending out of the opponent already. Yep, she's gone. Now I'm going to die to this Monarch. Oh no, the Recruiter. Okay, this is much more Esper Vial-y than I thought it was in game 1. Maybe they're not. Oh wait, no, we literally saw Nomad. They're just like a really heavy Esper Vial take on this. Recruiter for Recruiter. That's rough. Drawing extra cards. I think I could deck them. If I can find my Meltdown, clear the Vial, and then stick Murktide, I might be able to just go coast to coast. I guess I could Wasteland here. Take you off any mana. And then start doing stuff. Alright, firing off a Brainstorm. Fair enough. You're gonna get a shuffle off the Recruit. Right now I can Iteration. Channeler, which is Delirious. Put EI in my hand. Belt on the bottom. Style Channeler. Get a 2/2 for the deal. And I'm gonna waste the white source. Okay. Here is not nothing. There's already a 5 in your hand. Solitude. Oh god. Alright, I was worried about Yorion. There's already Solitude over there. Maybe they'll misclick Vial up to 6. Got a Flooded Strand. That can cast this Recruiter now, which can get another Solitude or something far more horrible. Or they could just put Yorion in hand and threaten complete destruction. Pyroblast. Gonna Expressive Iteration to start. Oh. I'm gonna put this Rough Tumble in my hand. And Wasteland on the bottom. Exile Murktide Regent. There might be something here. Okay, just making the biggest Murktide possible. I'm trying to flush out the Yorion, and then Rough Tumble can actually like clear almost all of these creatures. And then the second Murktide can hang out. And I'm buried under these, the Monarchy and the Recruiters looping, but my hand is powerful. Like Rough Tumble plus Pyroblast clears their entire board, and then Murktide Regent is hanging out when the dust settles. And they flickered the Vial as well, so... Alright. Oh, I'm just dead on board. What am I talking about? 4, 5, 6... Yeah, I'm just literally dead. I forgot I have a life total. I was so busy planning for the future. Yeah, that was a flex on what that deck is capable of. Okay, noted. Right, they're a lot searchier and toolboxier than I thought they were. Do I want my Dazes back in? It's like Dazes bonkers if they don't have Aether Vial, and my entire sideboard plan was keeping them off Aether Vial. Yeah, I think I'm interested in that. That also seems like they're cantrips, so they're only blue spells. Force of Will's probably in the deck somewhere. Alright, I'm gonna shape Null Rod and one of the Pyroblasts. I'm bringing my Dazes back in. I just have to figure out in what number. Probably don't need all 4. I do like Narset. If she sticks on an empty board, she can counter the Monarch or pull me ahead. Maybe I don't need this many Force of Wills. Alright. I'm gonna do this. We've confirmed Stoneforge Mystic to supplement the Meltdowns. I just tried to switch a Null Rod for Meltdown, but looks like the game is already loading. I probably wanted to split those. Okay, on the play. Let's have a good one. Let's just smear them across the earth with some 1-drops. Good enough for me. I'm gonna keep it and get started with this Dragon's Rage Channeler. Right, that land doesn't cast Swords to Plowshares. Aether Vial's annoying, but fine. The Scalding Tarn is great. Gives me so much control over what happens this turn. Ponder, put Murktide in the graveyard. Don't need that yet, and I already have one. Ooh. Wastelanding them when they're under the Aether Vial. Like, they have the Vial, is the problem here. Okay, I'm not going to go in on a Wasteland plan. I'm going to take the Brainstorm. I'm going to shuffle away these other bad cards. Just attack. 3 card types in the graveyard. I guess I could have bolted, just gone face for an extra 5 damage that turn. Is that possibly correct? I would hear arguments, but I don't really like it. Alright, well, this gets me Delirious and slows them down, I hope. Luda Delta in the graveyard. And it saves my Lightning Bolt. Ooh, no land. Put that in my belly. Attack first. Has to fight. I can play Murktide for what it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's just or I can build Delirium and make Murktide bigger by brainstorming first, but then I lose Lightning Bolt. I think I'm fine losing, or I'm gonna save the Brainstorm. Make Murktide right now. I got a lot of spells here to work my way back towards Delirium. I don't want to die to some random shit that comes out of the Aether Vial. Like that. I'm gonna bolt it immediately. Yeah, that one goes on top. Okay. They didn't have a land last turn. If they top deck White Source, have a second Nomads, and have the Illusionist, I could lose here. Uh-oh. I could still lose here. They would have to have 2 Nomads, though. Just said, sad moment in the chat. I wonder if that means they're Brainstorm locked and can't get anything going. No offense, but that's what I'm rooting for. We got a Brainstorm locked opponent. They do have Aether Vial in play, which doesn't mean we're home free yet. I'm gonna ponder in the graveyard. I'm looking for something more active here. I can get Delirium here. Oh, this is still not Ponder. This is... Alright, I'm gonna put Delver in my hand. Land on the bottom, exile land. Play the land. This can pick up Lightning Bolt, which grows Murktide Regent. All right, yeah, I'm gonna Mystic Sanctuary. Target Lightning Bolt. That on top of the deck, yes, that makes Murktide bigger. An attack for 7. It's coming out of this vial. Thassa's Oracle. I mean, that can block, I guess. Yeah, I can push through this. I'm gonna Brainstorm. Leave the Lightning Bolt on top, of course. 2 more of them and a Daze, get wrecked. And now the Delver is on top of my library where I can get Delirium. It's in the graveyard. I guess I should have gone face then. I don't care about Thassa's Oracle in play. Yeah, that bolt should have gone face. I fucked up. That's 3 damage that I could have, that I don't instead. It would be justice if I lose because of that. But I have Daze with Mystic Sanctuary set up. The Oracle probably just bottomed the 2 Brainstorm cards. You don't have to keep a card from Oracle. Oh wait, no, because I bolted you, they saw 0 cards. Okay, that was actually a good bolt, but not for the reasons I thought it was. I'm gonna Daze this. Keep Brainstorm on top, that's a good card here. Like, I know they're Brainstorm locked. Unless this file can get them out of this. I got the juice coming. Got the GGs, though. My opponent is talking about how they didn't draw land despite 3 cantrips, but I countered 2 of those cantrips, if you'll recall. So, I did my part to fuck up this game for them. It's not like pure luck. There was a strategy here of keeping them off their development, which has paid off. And there it is, the 4-1 with trusty old Izzet Delver, losing only to Delver's most feared predator, which is the green-white-red Depths deck. Not even just green-white Depths, they had the Pyroblast and everything. Not messing around. Main deck Pyroblast turned out to be utterly horrendous in the league, like I thought it might. This is not something that I do when I'm playing locals. It's probably something I do at a Grand Prix. Like, Pyroblast is gonna might hurt you for like the first 2 or 3 rounds of a local like 6-round tournament, where you're going to be pretty happy you have it in the later rounds and the top 8. It's just a tricky card, but the Magic Online big event metagame is so inbred at this point that sure, play 2 Pyroblast, go nuts, play 4, who gives a shit? It'll probably be good. But the card selection available in Delver, I had 2 dead cards, like stone dead. I played 58 cards. Worse than 58 cards. I played 58 cards and 2 like Uno 7s, just blank cardboard in my main deck for 4 of the 5 matches I just played, and it basically didn't matter. It was actually a dead card I couldn't get rid of against green-white Depths, but in all the other matches, there's so much selection in this deck. DRC selecting, Brainstorm selecting, EI selecting, Ponder selecting. It's a lot going on here. And even when Pyroblast is dead, like not going to find a target, you can still trigger a Surveil. You can still feed it to Murktide Regent. It's not that bad, even though it is pretty bad. Like, the floor is pretty high on this, having this card in your main deck, and the ceiling is just the sky. The sideboard is not how I would approach an open metagame either. This is very clearly a challenge mirror-based sideboard, or like, it looks kind of actually pretty heavy against Storm, which is weird. I guess it's not that weird. Bryant just won the Star City thing with the Epic Storm, so it's out there. And Storm is one of the tough matchups, and it is kind of popular in Magic Online, so makes some sense. I would reconfigure this, though, for a local metagame, but it's Delver. You can customize it for whatever you want to beat, and that is why Delver is so good. It has this insane core of, is it like 48 cards or so, maybe even 52 cards, and then just some other shit that you can like, I want to beat blue decks today, 2 Pyroblast. I'm sick of losing to Death and Taxes, Snapcaster Mage, and the festivities, just whatever. It's very customizable. I like 2 Brazen Borrowers myself in my list, and then Snapcaster Mage. So I would probably cut the 2 Pyroblast for Brazen Borrower number 2 and Snapcaster Mage number 1. And that's like a main deck I would present locally. I do have a Delver list and sideboard guide
posted on my Patreon if you want access to that. It's a couple weeks old at this point, but the format hasn't moved that much. You can see what I'm thinking and how I approach the matchups that didn't come up in this video. That is available over there. That's in the video link. Jeremy, thank you for asking me to play Izzet Delver. I do enjoy this deck. It's not always compelling content, but a lot of people do like just seeing high-level play of the best deck, and that's its own type of content as well. Not every league can be Lone Pox, sorry to say. This has been Delver. Jeremy, thanks for doing it. Make sure to check out Coalesce Apparel, buy some shirts, use code BoshNRoll at checkout. Check out my Patreon for the Izzet Delver list and sideboard guide that's in there, and the awesome Discord community. It's all in the video description below. I'll see you next time.